13 years old, and my father left me when I learned to say daddy. Even though my father is not around, in my heart he is always here. Every birthday and every Christmas, I cross my fingers in hopes that my father will come home. Does my wish come true? No, but I never quit looking and hoping. What really hurts is walking through the mall and seeing little girls with their fathers walking hand in hand. I can see how much he loves his little girl, but I can't see my father loving me as his little girl. I see my father a lot in my dreams, but never does he turn around. I call for him, but he just keeps walking away. I'd like to believe he misses me, but how could he miss a stranger? Every time I blow the candles out of my birthday cake, I wish the same wish that I have for the past 13 years. I wish that stranger would turn around and look at me. Maybe if he saw all the pain and suffering from living without him in my eyes, he would become a part of my life. For now, all I can do is to wish and never give up hope, for hope is all I have to hold on to. Even though it's hard to say, my father means the world to me, and if I had the chance to tell him all of this, I would not change anything, but I would add a couple of I love yous.
All right. Welcome to the Grown Man Talking Incorporated. We will be discussing today the effect of an absent father. Hey, the phone lines will be up. If you have a question, comment, or an experience you want to share, make sure you call in after the first break. Okay. Don't forget that we also have the powerful poet. 11 days, y'all, is the deadline to get your videos in. So make sure you get your videos in and over to the judges in time, because hey, you never know, you might be that poet that will be setting the stage on fire. Now we're gonna go ahead and head it on over to Mr. Dwight.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Grown Man Talking. I hope you're having a good Friday. So let's go ahead and welcome the rest of the men on the show. Mr. Brittany in the house, come and join us.
No doubt. Here I am. What's up, y'all? What's up?
All right, Mr. Brittany. You sitting outside, I see. Sitting outside getting some sun.
Yeah, I'm out here on the porch relaxing, man. We'll talk about this after the show. But yeah, I'm on the porch.
Yeah, enjoy yourself while you're out there, Mr. Brittany.
All
right, let's bring in Brother Dez. Brother Dez, come on into the show.
Hey, how's everybody doing this evening? How's everybody doing?
What's up, Dez?
What's up, Dez?
Oh, man.
Now, King D will be joining us pretty soon. The video we just saw, I just want to say, yeah, it is very important that men are are there for their children. I mean, no matter what's going on with the mom, wife or girlfriend, men are very important. Now, if I say what I have to say, I'm going to go with Mr. Britton. Mr. Britton, that video we just saw, what's your opinion on that?
Well, man, first of all, it's always gut-wrenching when a child has to try to articulate absence in their life, particularly with a father, and when it's a father-daughter. But been there, and my thoughts are, we got to do something about this absenteeism, and I just wait to elaborate a little bit further after we see a couple of more clips and have a little bit more discussion. But initially, it's just sad, man. It's sad.
Yeah.
I've been one.
Yeah, I agree with Mr. Britton. It's very, very sad. I just don't understand. People can get together, make a child, but sometimes I guess some of them feel like they can't raise the child together. Brother Dez, how you feel about that video we just saw?
Well, I was the beast. Hey, what's up, King D?
Yeah, what's
King
up?
D stuck in.
Yeah, because I damn well didn't see him. He really did sneak in and everything. Welcome to the show, King B.
What's
Yeah.
up?
Oh, nothing much. We'll be around to you in just 1 second. Okay, brother Dez, what you got to say about that video we just saw?
Well, like Mr. B said, hearing it from a child's perspective, it's kind of saddening, and I think that the father not being there, I understand that it does also affect, young ladies as well. But I think that it affects us as, as young boys, it affects us a whole lot more.
Mm.
Because like I said, we can still have our uncles to lean on and things of that nature, but there's nothing like having your father there with you.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you 100%. King D, did you get a chance to see the video? I know you're a little late. Did you get a chance to see that video that we just saw not so long ago?
I did not.
Well, let me ask you this, King D. The video is about, I guess, when the men are absent from the family, it has a big effect on the young men and young ladies when a man is not involved in his children's life. So just give us a little small detail what you feel. You feel it's very important for men to be in their children's life and what you think might affect the children if he's not there.
Yeah, I think it's important for. I'm sorry, I was still trying to load my computer. I think it's important for a man to be in the child's life because it affects so much. Like it affects a kid, like especially little boys.
Oh yeah, I agree.
It affects them in more ways than we could think. With what they grow up liking, dressing, all that. It's a part of it. We got to be honest to say that. And then also with with little girls, they wouldn't know what a. My computer is really tripping, y'all.
Hope you'll be able to get it fixed. But I agree with you, King D. I feel like just like the gentleman, all of the kings and on here in this program say that it is very important. And let me say this again: it's very important for fathers to be in their children's life. Now, I get that. A lot of times, sometimes men they'll get a woman, and either they having a baby, they're planning the child, or they're not planning the child, and sometimes things don't work out. That goes for being in a relationship. That goes in being married. I know sometimes, not all. I know some women can be difficult. I've been through that stage where me being a father, it's just I just want to deal with my son, daughter, whatever. I'm not trying to get into an argument. I'm not trying to go back and forth while we didn't work. I just want to be in my child life so I can be a big impact on raising my children. And when the father is not in the home, I got to understand this. When a man is not in a part of their children's life, it can affect them. This is one reason why I believe now we have so many young men just doing crazy stuff today. They just running amok. They acting crazy. They acting strange. It's like we're in the twilight zone. And when it comes to the daughters, it's very important for a man to be in his daughter life because that man can tell his daughter, this is the type of dude you don't want to be with. When a young lady started growing up and she started dating, which all men, they had that fear, oh gosh, she's not my little girl no more. And sometimes they might bring a boyfriend home that you just can't stand or you just know he ain't no good. Then, it's important to be there because you can help her choose someone that's not going to dog her out, cheat on her, beat on her, and us being men, we can see that. Now, Mr. Britton, I know you have daughters, and I know that's as a man, you wouldn't want your daughter getting with some crazy guy out there, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And there's where we got to take a deep look at ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And remember, I was at fault of this at a young age because I didn't know the rules,
Right.
and I didn't realize that, the young queens and princesses in my life, what was that?
Oh, I think
Was
that was
that
King D. No, you're fine. You go ahead. You're fine.
okay?
Go ahead.
Wow. I didn't know that they were actually looking at what their perception of a man was going to be. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So, caused a lot of damage in terms of, showing them that this is what this is what you can expect. So
Right.
when I see my kids and my girls and the men that they gravitate to, you know what I'm saying, I get upset at some of them. And in actuality, I realized I was getting upset at the image that I gave them, and that's what they went and looked
Right.
for.
I agree with you, Britton. I definitely agree with you. I'm gonna put it
Who
like
was
this:
that baby?
when I was my oldest son, mom. Now, when I was dating her dad, he wanted to meet me. We met at a restaurant, and she quietly left to go to the bathroom. But I already knew what it was. She was gonna go to the bathroom, take time out. Cause he wanted to fill me out. He wanted to make sure his daughter wasn't getting with somebody that was a crazy maniac. And of course, as a father, he has the right. He has the right to protect his daughter, even though she is grown. Which I get that. He asked me questions. He even asked me, did I have any kids? He asked me how many kids I had. But that time I told him I don't have any kids. We sat there for maybe, by ourselves for 5 minutes. And, I was a little nervous. I said, dang, this man really pressing me. I guess, which I get it. So when she came back, we sat there, we talked. Everybody, we talk and we laugh. And then at the end of the night, he shook my hand. He said, Dwight, I'm going to tell you this. He said, you're a good man. He said, I'm not going to lie. I can't tell my daughter who to be with, who to date. But I have to say, you are someone I do not mind my daughter dating. And that's important. And I think all fathers should do that. Now, my daughter don't date. She's 23 and she's not dating. She don't care to date. But believe me, when she do date and meet some guy and she want me to, to see if he's a good dude, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to sit down. We're going to talk. I'm going to see where his head is at. Now, I ain't got nothing against guys that have kids, but if he come and tell me, well, I got 3 kids or 4 kids by 2 different women, I ain't gonna say now. I'm saying, oh, okay, you take care of them. Yeah, I take care of them. That's fine too. But when it's over, I'm gonna look at my daughter and just say, he seems like a nice dude, but I believe, I believe you might find somebody else. That's just my opinion, because that's just me. Now, Des, you have any daughters, don't you?
Why, yes, I do.
Now, how you feel about that? You, your daughter beat somebody. Would you want to get to know who the dude is when she gets to that age and to find out this dude's a good dude? He's not one of these crazy maniacs on the street.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, you're gonna always want the best for your baby girl, but but at some point in time, like, because I can't say that I was there the entire time for my biological's daughter's raising,
Right.
because I wasn't. But I know that she still had a good support system surrounding her.
Right.
Through her grandfather, through her grandfathers, her grandmothers, as well as her aunties. And she turned out to be pretty good. She's a young, successful young lady, has her own business. But at some point in time, I did kind of feel bad about not being there for her. And me and her, we sat down and we've had these conversations before, and like I was reading in the comments earlier, how, some people were saying that, that a father being present there in their daughter's life makes a big difference for them, so that they can have those examples. And I'll say that some of those, sometimes, even though the father is there, that father may not be a good example. So a father being there is important, but what's more important is the father that's there that's actually being a good example for their daughter.
Right. And I'm glad you said that, Des. You absolutely correct, because I agree with you 100%. You got to be a good example, because it does have fathers out there, and some of them are not a good example. But what you just said, yeah, I agree with you 100%. Now, King D, I already know, because you have a daughter and everything, and you want her to, you want to make sure she get with the right dude, even though she's grown. You don't have the right to tell what dude to be with, but the same thing go for you. How would you feel? Would you want to meet the guy your daughter's trying to date and see where his head is at?
I don't even think I want to meet him. Boy. I can't even say I want to meet the man. I don't even want to meet him.
Well, yeah, I understand that, King D, but one day it's gonna happen, King D. You know, she gonna bring some.
She gonna be. One thing about it, my daughter, I ain't got to worry about men regardless, because my daughter don't like men. She likes girls, but
right. But I'll just say the opposite. Even okay, if she do like girl, wouldn't you want her to meet a young lady that's gonna, you know, be right with her? Somebody's not gonna be, you know, crazy and doing, you know, trying to feel her out and see if she could be that perfect person for your daughter, because you don't want to get a phone call saying this girl with buck wild and she tearing up stuff trying to hurt your daughter. So you know, you get an idea.
My daughter already knows. Like if it's a female, she got aunties. Yeah. That her aunties don't play. They don't play. So you know, if she do grow out of liking girls and want to date guys, I don't like me personally.
Right.
She's 65 and able to date.
55.
65.
Boy, King D.
She ain't gonna date no time soon. Trust me. I'll be on like right on rice.
Oh man, you know, I'll be
and then she want to bring him on to the house and you know maybe you know meet. Yeah, it's fine. But you can't stay for 30 minutes. You gotta go out and kill.
Yeah, I feel you, because all of us as fathers, we want the best for our daughters, and we don't want them. Because I ain't gonna lie, you know, I wouldn't want my daughter to get with some crazy man, because I hate to go to jail if he try to do something to hurt my child. I'm just gonna get that bail money together, because I'm not gonna stand for it. But also, we all have sons, and we want our sons. Now, I talk to my sons, all of them, and I sat there and talked to them when they was a younger age, and tell them how to be young men, how to be gentlemen, how to treat a woman. Now, my sons never tell you, you know, I can't speak for all men, but just me personally, when my father was raising me before he died, and I was a younger age when he passed, he always taught us not to disrespect your woman, don't call her the B word. You supposed to be there to protect her always and respect her. And I taught my sons and them that same way. You know, I taught them to be that way. You know, you don't be disrespectful. You be young men and gentlemen to the young ladies that you are talking. Now, my son's not, you know, I don't know what's going on with my kids. My kids are just not dating. I have my oldest son, he's in his 30s, he's 31. He's not dating unless her name is PlayStation 5. And yeah, because he doesn't have any kids. He's not dating. He has a house that he lives in a house with just him and his dog. He goes to work, but he's not dating. The same thing with the twins. They doing their own thing and they're not dating. So I'm like, I don't have to worry about that. But I did have to talk with my daughter, and I had to talk with my sons. So I see a lot of things now with the young men going on, and you hear a lot of ladies saying that the fathers was never around, or the fathers didn't care. Now, with a father present being there, or somebody else, it don't even be the father. Just like they say, it can be an uncle, it can be grandpa, or whatever. Do y'all agree that if men are not in young men's life, do you think they can make a bad decision in life and make mistakes, but they could have maybe avoided if they had somebody there talking to them? So, brother, I can't get my words. Mr. Britton, how do you feel about that? If you think it's very important to talk to sons and to guide them so they won't make certain mistakes. You see a lot of these young men today making mistakes by just doing all kinds of things that you see on TikTok, Facebook. I've seen men just being very disrespectful to their girls, their mom, their sisters, or some of them just acting too feminine. So how do you feel about that, about men not being in the children like when it comes to that?
Yeah, well, number one, we didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? You know, when I was growing up, you know, I did some horrible things. But one thing I could say, part of the blueprint was to have men interacting with other men, whether it was, you know, your father or your brother. It didn't have to be your father or your brothers, your uncles. It could have been, you know, guys out on the block. You know, it was a certain code that we tried to maintain. You know, most of them. You know, so you know, there was a degree of respect and our disrespect that always stood out. You know, when I was getting into a lot of trouble, you know, but when I get back with that when we get back. Music
okay, Mr. Britton, yes.
2 and 2.
Yeah, now Mr. Britton said we back y'all 2 and 2, just like Mr. Britton said. Don't go nowhere.
Are you an absent father? Why have you abandoned your kids? Why have you ran away from providing for your kids? It is because there is no God in you. The Bible says that when a man abandons his own family, he is worse than an infidel. You are running away from your kids because there is no God in your heart. You don't want to provide for your kids and use the behavior of your wife or your girlfriend or whoever left you as an excuse to say, I'm not going to provide for those kids. She keeps stopping me. She keeps fighting me. She doesn't want me to see her kids. No, you are not fighting hard enough for your children. Even with a woman that is your ex, that has fought with you so hard that she's using manipulation, she cannot overpower God. You need to start trusting God and get saved and get born again and go back and look after your kids and start building a future for your kids. Because the more you continue abandoning your kids, it won't end well for you. Go back and look after.
All right. We want to give all thanks over there to both pages of Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and also Instagram for tuning in. We really appreciate you. Also, make sure you tune in tomorrow as the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour comes to you with a topic on the placement of a baby mom. It's going to be more or less like, is she supposed to be first because she got the child? And where is her place when it comes down to you having a woman in your life? Let's talk about it. Also, don't forget that we got the Powerful Poet contest going on 2025. If you're a powerful poet and you know it, hey, bring it. Now, if you know somebody, hey, pull them over to us. Send your videos over to the DM of Dwight Robinson or myself, Spicy Gray, and we'll send them over to the judges. So far, we already have a total of 7 videos in. We're pushing in for more. So if y'all know anyone, push them over here. And you never know, they might be the Powerful Poet of 2025. Also, make sure that y'all tune in on next Saturday, because we will be having, once again, Family Game Day. Let's see who's going to be the winner out of this one here. Regardless, we all winners. We all show love. We all show respect. So we see you then. Over to Dwight.
All right. And before we go continue, I don't know what's going on with that Family Game Day, but I know it better not be like it was the last time. And
Please,
get some questions that we know. Don't give me these questions. I don't care. I got them. Get some questions we black folks know.
We are not sore losers.
Exactly.
The last game was no.
Oh man, they've been, hey King D, you know they've been smashing us, man.
Yeah.
I'm tired of that mess.
Oh, po tanks.
I'm tired. I know this game is
No, last game they named, we didn't do too bad, fellas. I think didn't we win?
No, we didn't win.
Oh dang! Y'all can't even lie for me like that.
Hey,
it was close. It was close.
But it was close. But this game better be legit. That's all I got to say.
It's legit. As you know, there was a family that during Black History Month, they decided to come out with a game card. So what they did, they formed something on Black history. So it's pretty interesting.
Now, Spice, this ain't no Chinese family now, is it?
Yeah, that's to say, is it black people that made this?
It better be black people.
It's actual black business that made it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Well, I seen the interview and everything. The people the person that made it, I seen them talk.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just wondering how black they are.
Yeah, because y'all last game, Asians made that game, and when we had black answer, it wasn't matching up. It wasn't matching up, y'all.
I think you just emotional because a girl won.
No,
not at all. Not at all.
Okay, then give them their trophy. Then give it to them. They crown.
Well, I'll give it to
And you
him.
know,
Yeah, they won.
Because all the rest of the games y'all won. Come on, bruh.
Well,
last
we
game-
always supposed to win.
the last game was white people, because it said, I will never forget this particular question. It said, name something that your grandmother would say if she was in shock. 3 words.
Oh yeah, I remember that King D.
Is Lord have mercy.
Exactly.
But they said it was something else.
It was something else, and you're right. That's why I said this time there'd be some blickly black.
That wasn't black. I'm sorry.
Well,
Yeah,
y'all will see. Y'all will see next
Okay, well,
Saturday. Make sure you tune in.
Okay. Now, before we talk about that video we just saw, we're gonna get back to Mr. Britton before the commercials. Mr. Britton, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so again, I'll make it real short though, but that wasn't our example, you know. So when I was coming up, I didn't get those examples of black men that wasn't involved to some degree, whether it was the baseball coach, the basketball coach, the teacher in school. Shoot, I had a guy, we called them winos back then. I had a guy who was a wino, and you know, when I used to go to the park to shoot, you know, he would tell me about myself, about my game, about my behavior, you know what I'm saying, what I was doing in school, because here I am, this standout, but you know, I wanted to skip school. I wanted to date my little girlfriend and stuff like that. So yeah, they make an impact in our life. We got to have black male voices speaking to us. You know, it's, you know, a woman can't raise a man, you know, to be a man. I mean, I like to say she can, but a man goes way beyond, you know, where a woman can teach us how to respect the femininity in a woman, a queen. You know what I'm saying? But a man has to teach us how to really be respectful and respond.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and assistant host, will you flash that China comment up again?
Oh, I missed a comment. What comment?
Oh, poor little tink tink.
Okay, let's get this record straight.
That's a universal thing.
Let me see if yeah, it's a universal. But see, I've been saying this since I was in high school. So I'm older than Dez, I think, right, Dez?
I hope you are.
Am I older than you? I think I'm older than you.
Yeah, you got me by a couple of years.
Yeah, we're not gonna state the age exactly.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, you got me by a couple of years.
No, I've been saying it for a long time. It's just part of me. I just say, oh, poor little tank.
Well, who was you saying that about?
Us losing.
Y'all.
Us losing.
Huh?
Y'all complaining about the woman winning last game.
No, no, we're not complaining about the women winning last game. We were complaining about the content of the questions that were asked.
But before then, what was the discussion?
But why is it that
you know what? Stick a pin in it.
I gotta ask this question, Spicy.
Thank you, bro.
You know, because this goes hand in hand with what we're talking about. Why is it that, you know, and I'm speaking for men generally, why is it that my feelings got to be minimized while yours is maximized? You know what I'm saying? Why it's got to be a little poor ding ding when it's me, and when it's you, it's like, you know, not you, Spicy, but women, it's like the world is falling in. Like, oh,
Mr. Britton, I agree with you. Yeah.
Let's keep it 100. It ain't no little poor ding ding. It was a mess. That's what it was. Y'all be robbing me. I had to ask, look, y'all be robbing us.
Yeah.
And then y'all pull out emotional strings to try to justify it. I'm cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Man, about this video though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that video.
I will say this. I'm kind of at torn.
Yeah, you got a caller coming in.
Caller, welcome in, grown men talking.
I hope.
Oh shit.
Okay, I gotta get with Road. It's tripping. So let me put it on speaker. They'll be able to hear you, but you have to look at your device to see. Go ahead.
Okay, so basically what I was gonna say was it was about a couple things. For the whole panel, I just had a question for you all. And the question is, okay, so does it count when the man leaves leave on their own? And do you, I guess I got more than one question.
You always do.
And I ask this to everyone. Okay, let's say everyone on this panel married to a woman, right? I hope. And all y'all have kids with the woman, and you have children that are not your kids either, girls and boys. Okay, do you feel like when the man leaves, y'all separate or whatever, that they only take care of their own kids and abandon the ones they raised? Or do you think it's okay for them to abandon the one they raised? What do y'all think?
I tell you, can I answer?
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Brittle.
Yeah, so because I got kids, and you know how we used to say step kids, right? Well, I got some, and they, you know, they my bonus babies, and they've been in my life since they was doo-doo and yellow. And when I took the responsibility to accept their mother, I accepted them. Right. I never would separate my heart and say that I got more affection for my biological kids than my own kids, because when we accept them, when we bring them into our life, and you saying these are my babies, you know what I'm saying? You know, you can't be playing with that thing, because you're affecting lives. You know what I'm saying? And it can become emotionally traumatizing, because if you leave, do you leave and then just abandon everybody? No, you maintain that relationship. You should foster that relationship. In fact, that's an opportunity for you to show and demonstrate how a real Black man is supposed to act, even in those difficult moments. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be their first example. You know, and if you alienate everybody, you go away angry, you know what I'm saying? That's what she gonna be left with. But if you keep it 100, whether you got boys or girls in that situation, you know, them kids gonna grow up and all your name is gonna be is daddy. Period. Yeah. Flat out.
Yeah. Brother Dez?
Yeah, I agree with him in the same way, because like he said, you still don't, if you raise those kids, because even though I say sometimes, you know, I got 2 biologicals and a multitude of adopted, because I mean, because like to this day, my ex-wife, one of her, any one of her kids can call me and ask me for anything that they need. Right. And that's just a fact. And I don't care who accepts that or not. But the way I look at it, they're still my kids, even though I know I know both of their fathers. I know who their fathers are. But to me, I still look at them and view them and love and care for them as if they're my children.
Right. I agree. What about you, King D?
Once you sign that dotted line and said I do, you said you do to her and those kids. It's just what it is. Like, you can't just be married to a woman and then once y'all divorce, I'm only take care of my kids, I'm gonna look after my kids. That's not how that works. Once you married that person, no matter if you're divorced or not, once you married that person and you became a part of that kid's life, those kids' life, then that's just what it is. No, you don't have 3 children, you got 7. You know, like it just what's up.
Yeah, I agree with y'all. And then I was in that situation. I guess I have a whole bunch of kids because even my stepson asked me about certain things about which I told him about things he should have did in life. And he, you know, everybody make mistakes, and he did something that, you know, I ain't gonna quite say it was a mistake, but things happen. And even he called and talked to me about some things. And I sat there on the phone with him and talked to him for a while about what he should do and what he shouldn't do. Even back then when I was 21, back then I had no kids. I got with a young lady, 19, she had 2 kids, and we were supposed to be married at that time. I found out that she was still married, and those 2 kids, they still stay in contact with me. One of the young ladies, she always called me her dad. She stays up there in San Antonio. She's a manager of an HEB. And the horror that she told me when I left her mom, and the reason why I left her mom was still married, and her mom was doing things that she shouldn't have been doing, she told me the nightmares that her and her brother went through. The men that came in there that just did disgusting things, and she had to suffer that. And she sat on that phone with me for hours crying, said that for that time I was in their life, I made a big impact on them. So yeah, even when you're with somebody dating, or if you got married and you got a divorce, and if those young people still call you father or want to give advice, yeah, you should give them advice, because that time you are their father.
Okay,
Because
Carla, do you have a second question? Because my arm getting tired.
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
Okay, so with that being said, okay, so like, do you believe like if you don't like you have stepchildren and you have your biological children, do you feel like sometimes you can affect them in a negative way if you don't do stuff with them? Because I ran into a young lady where she had some kids, and the stepfather was only available when their kids came around. And so he would be engaged, and it's affecting them to today. So they still love the stepfather, and so they were willing to do anything for him. But they do remember all the times when I can't do right now, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. They want to have a bond with that said father. But he always made excuses for not being always available when they really needed him the most. So what do y'all think about that?
Well, it's up to that stepfather. I mean, if the stepfather, then another thing, ladies, y'all gotta be careful who y'all get involved with. If the man you get involved with don't care about your kids, then you should just leave. I don't care if you've been married for a couple of months, a year. If you feel like that man is not being the father he should be to your kids, then leave. You say yourself, and you'll say those kids a whole lot of trouble. It just depends, but I believe sometimes that the stepfather, depending who he is, even though you don't get along with that woman, I mean, if you can't stand her, the kids ain't did nothing to you, so you can at least be there for the kids when they grow up and when they're growing up, or if they're already grown and call you to talk to you, because the fathers in their life either they're not there or they might have been gone and passed away. But yeah, I think a man should at least at that point should at least be there to talk to them when they have problems. But that's just my take on it. Brother Des, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I mean, it just sounds like in this scenario that he was more invested into his own children versus the children that she had before him.
Right.
You know, that's what it sounds like in that scenario, because I can honestly say I probably made it to more events for my stepchildren than I did for my biological children. You know, so it just depends. And, you know, and I can't say that I did not have a good example of that, because like one of my relatives is watching and listening, and we had the greatest example of all time in my grandfather, Daddy Sims. We had the greatest example of what a man should be and how he should take care of family. So I really have no excuse for the things that I did, because I had an example, even though my father wasn't there the way that I may have wanted him to be. I still always had that father figure, and love my father, God rest his soul, you know. But as I got older, I realized he was doing what he was able to do at the time, because of what he was going through in life, with the struggling with addiction and, and having the, health issues. He could only do so much.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I can't, and I still can't say, even though my dad really wasn't there as I got older, like after that my parents got divorced when I was at an early age, but I still can't say that my dad wasn't there. He just may not have been there the way that I have wanted him to be. But he was still there, because I was always at his house. I knew where he lived. I knew where he stayed. I knew where he was going to be at. If he wasn't at home, and my stepmom needed to find him, she would always call me. Hey, where your daddy at? I don't know. Let me go over here and check. And I could find him. I knew where he was at. So I think it's just that, it's just in that particular scenario, I think that gentleman is just picking and choosing what he wants to be involved in. And I hear music, so that sounds like there's a commercial coming on.
Yeah, it is, brother Dez. I agree with you.
Thank you,
But we'll be
guys.
back.
Thank
We'll
you,
be
T.
back with that 2 and 2, y'all.
You'll see this dynamic where the father is absent and the son ends up playing this like surrogate man of the house role where he has to meet your emotional need. A lot of my homies who are grown now, who grew up without a father, and they have these like really strong bonds with their mom. And when they do get in a position where they bring a woman into their life, it's almost like this competitive nature that exists between mom and new girl. It's so emotionally damaging to men, especially like young men. We create this like savior complex, and there's a lot of men right now who are going to ransom like, I'm the man, I'm supposed to do this, do that. And we're like, where does all this come from? And a lot of it comes from
the fact that he had to do it for his mom
his whole life.
All right. Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow to the Unspoken Art Discussion Hour as they talk about what the placement supposed to be when it comes down to having a baby mama and you're in a relationship. So make sure you set those notifications. If you're enjoying the show with the men, subscribe, like, and comment. But you know the lines are up. We're having a little bit of difficulty, but we can put you on speaker. So make sure that you tune in tomorrow as we go ahead and talk about the placement of the baby mama and some of the problems that come with it. Also, we got the Powerful Poet contest going on. And if you're a poet and you know it, or you know a poet, send them over to Spicy Gray or Dwight Robinson's inbox on Facebook Messenger, and we'll get them over to the judge. You never know, you might become 2025 Powerful Poet.
All right, before we get to that video, we need to talk about the second video, but I also want to get King D and Mr. Britton opinion on that question. So
before they answer that, excuse me, I did want to say something because I know King D had said something when you signed on that dotted line, which is true what he was saying. But also you got to remember there's ones that didn't sign that dotted line or the birth certificate. I mean, it does not withhold them from doing their place in helping bringing that child into this world, creating them. So regardless whether you're on paper or not, you know that's your child. Be a man up, and take care of your responsibilities.
Right. King D, go ahead.
I don't even remember the question.
Well, no, it's not a question. Well, the question that caller had, she had two questions concerned about the step kids, their father not being there or not treating the step kids as his own, or even if he leave, he should still be, if he chooses to still be in their life. Now, which yeah.
I was just gonna say, at the end of the day, like, if I wouldn't try to force it's, don't force it. If your kids, that's not the man's biological kids is, and he's not trying to get in the kid's life or want to continue to be in those kids' life, or just don't force it. I wouldn't force it. I tell my kids to do like this to him every time they see him. Do like that to him.
Oh damn, that's cool. Ooh,
I would. I mean, I would, because that's just not right. You know what I'm saying? That's not right. I tell them, you can disrespect them. Disrespect them as much as you want to. I mean, dude, I'm just cold-hearted.
Cold.
And Dwight, excuse me, if I could chime in on that as well, because I did want to say something on that, because when it come down to that situation, it is a sticky situation. I'm gonna put it like this: when I get in a relationship, if a person have kids, I'm gonna acknowledge he has kids. Okay, so I'm gonna treat his kids just like they my own. I'm gonna treat them all and provide for them and help them out just as much as I would do my own. My thing is, some of these women, if you get a woman, even the man, if you get someone that's more about their kids than you are to yours, and they cannot treat them all as their own, which is their choice, why even get an engagement with someone like that? Because at the end of the day, they're going to treat your kids totally different than they do theirs. If they wait until their kids are with your kids to want to treat them like, oh, those are his kids, no, you don't need that fake stuff. Get rid of them.
I agree 100%. Mr. Britton, what's your take on that?
Well, two things. I was listening and I kept hearing my father say some things that he said to me years ago, and one of them was, when I had when I developed my situation with my bonus babies. I was telling my father about it, and he was like, "Hey, man," he said, "if you feed them long enough, they're gonna look like you anyway."
They're gonna start to look like you. I didn't heard that too.
And I swear, I got a daughter that people look at and they say she look more like me than my biologicals. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Yeah.
well,
And matter of fact, y'all done seen her, probably didn't even know. Because she say, look just like you, Mr. Britton. But just to make it short, the sum it all up, I believe this. If I accept a woman, I'm accepting everything about her. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Right.
When I go
Yep.
in, we get past the initial dating and all of that, you're gonna know it don't take 4 quarters to play this game. You can win or lose in the first quarter with this. You know what I'm saying? When I go in the situation and I see that if it's something I don't want to be involved in, based upon the children, you know what I'm saying? Then I need to question myself because I ain't never went into no relationship. Look, I got a zillion bonus babies. I'm telling you.
Mm.
And I got them calling me, and you wouldn't know that they was my bonus babies. They call me and they say, "Daddy." That they all got the same tones. I know when they want something. I know when they cool. You know what I'm saying? Whether they got my DNA or not. That's because I treated them all the same. I had no difference from one to the other. I
Right.
dare not do that. My mom and daddy wouldn't let me do that.
And I understand exactly where you're coming from with that because even my father, with all of his bonus babies, he treated us
Bonus.
all. He treated us all the same way. We
Right.
we all got treated the same
But,
way. One
but
was not held on a higher pedestal than the other. If one of
Right.
That's
us
right.
messed up, we all got it.
I feel
That's
you.
right. That's
but
right.
we
You
also
know,
got
so
And when the school called you when they was acting up, they didn't call you talking about, hey, Mr. Carter, we got your bonus baby over here. They say your child.
yeah,
They say your
that's what they
child.
say.
When
Yeah.
the bill come in, you know what I'm saying? It's the heat, clothes, feed my children that's in that house. And even the ones that's not, because they all can't be in the same house. But when it came down to it, Daddy, we got the prom. Okay, okay, I spent the same type of dough on all of them. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And,
yeah,
and until this day, my bonus babies, they defend daddy more than the biologicals. They go off about.
I
yeah,
feel you on that one.
yeah, but
Mhm.
and mothers have to allow these fathers, stepfathers, whatever. They have to
That's
allow
right.
these men to be in these
Be
kids' life because you never stop parenting. No matter how old you get, no matter how old your kid get. I got a friend. She's 40. She's in her 40s. Her oldest daughter's in her 25, and it was a situation that had happened. And she was like, "Dang! No matter how the kids just get more and more expensive as they grow, as they get older. She grown. She's 25 with a job and this, that, and third, and I still gotta pay for stuff." I said, "Keep. You'll never stop parenting. It's gonna always be that. So no matter." If it's a real kid, a step kid, or whatever, come through for them. Because if they ain't got nobody else to come through for them, they're gonna look to you. You
Yeah,
you was married to their mama. You said those vows. You know what I'm saying? Although y'all divorced or whatever. And I know Spicy said it ain't got nothing to do with the vows. You made that commitment. I'm gonna say that. You made that commitment.
When you lay down with
yeah,
that woman, you made that commitment.
Yeah, you
yeah.
made that
And see,
commitment. And
and
so
that's the thing. A lot of people
you
don't
you
realize.
If you
you
write
moved.
that grease from the sausage on a napkin, that's yours. You got to take care
Yeah.
of it.
You
Yeah.
you make that commitment, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if they're yours or not. They will always look to you because you was there.
Yeah,
You know?
and then I want to add this to the field too. For y'all fathers out there, myself included, the state stopped charging child support at 18. But guess what? That's life. That's a commitment you done made for life.
Well, brother Dez, yes, I agree. But if you got those overdraft, you're gonna still be paying some child support.
Yeah,
Now,
He
that's
called them
just what it is.
overdraft.
Yeah, and overdraft. Or was it? When it's just like you can pay for extra. Well, however, I can't remember the word, but it's just when you have rears. There it is. You pay rears. You have rears in the back, you still have to pay that. That child can be 30. You can still be paying child support if that's stuff real high in the rears.
It never ends. It never
No,
ends.
no, yeah, and that's what I was trying to say.
And
You know,
taking trying to get you from the grave to keep paying that child support.
well, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, and I hate that. I mean, that even that statement, child support, that kind of has a negative connotation to it. And in actuality, all it is, you just taking care of your responsibilities. So I mean, I understand, and like
that's true. That's true.
You've
and
been
like,
made. You've been made to take care of your kids.
But you got a lot of men
with the state, yeah.
Yeah, with the state, because I'm gonna say like this, like with my ex-husband, I sit there, you know, told him, as long as you help me with the kids, we don't have to worry about that. But then as soon as he told me to go get some other end to go take care of him because he couldn't get him from me no more, or I wouldn't take him back, you gonna get mad because you're gonna call 30 days later, they go 30, 60 days later, somehow, oh, you put me on child support. Well, you told me to go get some other end to take care of him, so that I got Greg Abbott.
Well, and that's true.
But then you have some that's willing to help out that woman, because you don't find too many women that say, look, we ain't got to worry about the middleman. Let's just, as long as you help me with these kids, we don't have no problem.
Yeah.
But then you have those hard-headed men that get bitter because they want to have their way. Then they want to get, you know, they end up with child support.
And that child support, and like I said, and I'm gonna say this, ladies, you know, if you got a man, and like I said, you try to keep the people out your business. If you got a man that's in there that's really helping you pay child support, you ain't got to get the people involved, because that man, a real man, gonna take care of his babies. You ain't got to put that man on child support. Now, with that being said, some of these women, some of y'all now, y'all be bitter because the man don't want to be with you no more. He take care of his kids. And I can say that for sure. A man love his kids. He'll be there for his kids. But just because y'all can't have that man no more, you get that bitter taste in your mouth. Well, I'm going to do this and that to try and make his life miserable. And that part right there is crazy. But that's a whole nother show. Now, I want to also talk about that video that man was saying, what he was saying that, you know, you don't stay with a woman and da. Look, a man ain't got to stay with no woman if that woman driving him up the wall, making him crazy. As long as that man is in his kid's life and paying, you know, it's more than just getting the money. If he's there taking care of those kids, being in the children's life, there's nothing wrong with it. That's the whole point. Being a man and being there for your kids and help raise them. It don't mean you got to stay with that woman. But being there with your kids to raise them so they can be the best they can be to grow up. So that way they won't get in this twilight zone that we having now. That's why we got a lot of men out here, young men out here running amok. They don't know how to act. They ain't had that male structure in their life to teach them how to behave. And they out here doing all kind of stuff. We got a lot of young men in the street right now, killing each other, shooting each other down, because they ain't, I mean, like Mr. Britton said, a woman cannot teach a young man to be a man. It takes a man to do that. And if he doesn't have a father, an uncle, or whoever in his life, he can turn the wrong way. It's very important for fathers to be in these young men's life. And now, if the biological father's not there, the stepfather, he can take that slack up, or the grandfather. It's very important. That's why we got a lot of this stuff going on in the world now with these young men running them, and same as women. These women needs, these young ladies needs men figures in their life so they don't get mixed up with these wrong type of dudes. So, but the guy in that video we saw, I'm gonna go with you, Mr. Britton. How you feel about that second video when the man was saying, you just wrong. If you don't stay in that woman's life, he doesn't have to stay in that woman's life as long as he's in there taking care of his kids and he's in his kids' life. That's all he needs to do if they don't get along. So how do you feel about that video?
Yeah, well, first of all, I don't know what he's talking about. It's not a mandate that I'll be a good parent by virtue of staying in the woman's life. You know what I'm saying? Good parenting means being able to give good instruction, to be able to give some solid information, to be able to take care of and provide for them. It didn't say nothing about I got to still be with your mama. You know what I'm saying? You know, but what I am going to do is show them that I'm, you know, that to take care of them might mean me just getting along with it, not necessarily having to be there, but just getting along with it. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be able to raise these babies. You know, that's the bottom line, man. It's about the baby.
It's all you're right. It's all about the kids. Dad, how you feel about that second video?
Now, I agree, because you know, my first wife, you know, she's remarried. And me and her husband, we cool. I mean,
Right.
we have a good relationship. I have never had that issue. But the one thing about that video that kind of touched me in the wrong way is
Mm-hmm.
when he said that, that you ain't got no God in your heart. And
That
that's
part.
the reason why.
That part. Yeah.
And to me, that's like, you're not going to sit up and God is in my heart. I just
Yeah.
may not have made the right decisions. And
Yeah.
just because I don't need to go back to church and get saved and do all of this and,
Right.
just to, have a good relationship with my child. Because
Right.
I mean, I grew up in the church.
Mhm.
My grandmother said I was going to be a preacher when I was born.
Right.
But at the same time, I still know that God does exist. Now, because I'm not going to church every Sunday, does that mean
Right.
that God's not in my heart? No. It
Mhm.
just means that I made some decisions that did not go the way they were supposed to. I didn't make certain decisions. So don't tell me that I need to go to God and get saved and get my life, turn my life around and all of that, just to be in my kids' life and do right by them. No,
Yep.
I don't have to do all that, and I can still do right by my children.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
sorry, I need to calm down because he kind of got me heated.
Man,
He got me heated with that because you're not gonna sit up here and tell me that just because I ain't going to church and giving this preacher 10% of my money every week that I'm making bad decisions for my children. No, I'm not, because that 10% that I'm giving to that preacher could be going to my kids.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna calm down.
I'm gonna say this as well, because we got a lot of immature minded people that think they grown, and think they being a good parent. One thing you got to understand, these kids have a mind and emotion of their own, and they should be treated as such, even though we are guiding them down a certain path in order to prepare them for this world and adulthood from themselves. So saying that, at the end of the day, whether it's the man or the woman, what that child wants in that relationship with that man and woman, the father or the mother, that's between that child and that father, that child and that mother. The mother needs to step back, because at the end of the day, you supposed to be setting the right example for your child. How you going to sit there and have bitter attitude and then try to be controlling, and you think you setting the right foundation for your child to be prosperous in a relationship when they get one?
Right. That's just like we can teach our sons. We can teach our sons everything we want to. Now, if my son would have followed my example, he would have just had 2 kids.
Yeah.
Because I told myself I only wanted 2 kids. But like Spicy said, we can guide them and give them all the advice. They're still going to make their own decisions.
That's right. That's right.
And then it's about the father, because I see a lot of women do this, and you're not big. It's not cute, for one. And 2, it doesn't make you a good mother. A good mother not only puts that right structure there, but also puts those tools and those skills there in order to prepare that child on how to handle a relationship when they're not with that father either, or the mother either. When a child sees that mother and father get along, whether in relationship or not, it's healthier for the child, but it also shows the good foundation and the structure of the building that you have laid down. And it's shown that you have man up and woman up, and realizing it's not about you, it's about that child.
That's right.
And that's why I apply me and my first, like I said, me and my ex, my first wife, we have never had any quarrel over anything when it came to the children. So we got
a caller coming in, and we're gonna put them on speaker. We're gonna put them on speaker. You'll be able to hear them, but they can't hear you.
Okay.
Caller. Oh, hold on a minute. I forgot to put it on speaker. Hello.
Uh-oh.
Okay, caller, you there? Yeah,
Low.
I can barely hear you, real low. There you go.
What's happening, everybody?
DJ Mac.
Hey, what's up?
That's Brother Mac.
Mac in the house.
Sitting there listening to what y'all talking about, right? And this is wild. Like, first of all, who gave men the authority to tell what men, when, where, and how God is in their life? That's the first question. I want to know who gave the brother the authority to to step in and tell a man that if he ain't doing nothing a certain type of way, that means that he don't believe in God.
Yeah.
Where did you get that from?
Yeah. I agree, man. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. That second video, I kind of like. I definitely disagree with that man that was in that video.
I'm sorry because I'm not hearing you guys backwards, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and talk. But yeah, I really, really, really think that people need to be careful of the rhetoric, that they put out here and push in front of people concerning fathers, because in our community, we already are struggling to try to be men and be there for the kids. And then we have to battle against not only women that got BS on their mind and forces the father away, but then now you got some of these broke wrist men that get up here and talk crazy about the brothers that's trying their damnness to be in their kid's life. You do not know what plight that man is going through. Just like I can't tell a woman if she's doing bad by a child, what plight she's going through. I don't know what's going on in her life to be able to sit and pass judgment on people. You see what I'm saying? So people really need to think about what they do and what they say before they open their mouth.
Yeah, I agree.
That's all I can say, y'all. Good talking to y'all.
Thank you, Colin.
Thank you, Brother Mac.
Hey, Brother Mac. Thank you for calling. I agree with Brother Mac.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like this man don't know me from a speck of dirt or a hole in the wall, but he gonna tell me that I didn't do right by my kids because I ain't got God in my heart. You know, and then when you go to and then just to double back on that, with the other video,
right?
A lot of us like the dudes that are being forced to be the man because the father wasn't there. What example do they have?
Yeah, that part. Yeah.
They have to learn on their own because it doesn't come with a manual. I hear music.
Go ahead, take us out, Brother D.
All right, y'all. We will be back in 2 and 2 or when the commercial is through.
Imagine a woman in the hospital. She just gave birth to her infant child, and she orders the doctor to sever off one of the child's hands. That is precisely what happens when a father decides to not be in the life of their children, or mothers have children by men they know are not going to be in the lives of their children. And some just keep having them. So you have a house full of 3 or 4 kids from different dads who aren't there. 17 million children in this nation right now are fatherless, and even more have fathers who are kind of there and not really involved. The CDC says 90% of runaways come from fatherless homes. 71% of dropouts come from fatherless homes. 63% of suicides in teens come from fatherless homes. Fathers are strength and they are stability. They say this, that when a father is present in the house and in the life of that children, their cognitive and motor skills are elevated. They have physical and mental health that are stronger and more powerful and bonded. They're better at problem solving. They are more curious and more apt to try different things. All of those things when a father is present. One of the biggest attributes of a father is that they push the child. Mothers are comforters. Fathers are challengers. Mothers pick you up when you fall. Fathers let you fall, then pick you up, brush you off, and tell you how to not fall again. The importance of fathers is immeasurable.
Oh, so we're going to correct that title on there. King D is no longer the motivational speaker. He is the junior co-host of the show. Also, make sure you tune in tomorrow to the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour, as they will be talking about the placement of the baby mama. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all got to share about it? Hey, tune in tomorrow, call in. Hopefully we got these phones right. Hopefully. But make sure you set that notification. If you're enjoying the show right now with the men, please hit that like button, comment, also share. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we're going to hand it right over back to Dwight.
All right. And before we discuss the third and fourth, I want King D to get his opinion on that second video that we was all talking about. What he have an opinion on, but if he have anything he wants to say on that video that we was all talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what we was talking about.
Well, the second video when the guy was saying, "You ain't no God," and you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That ain't even just. I wouldn't even give him a penny. Like I wouldn't give him the time of day. It's not even nothing. He know he was wrong for saying that.
Yeah, he was
saying that. I don't even have an opinion on it because he just know he was wrong.
Yeah.
He was trying to sell Bibles. That's what he was doing.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't give that man a penny.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Like
so some Bible. That to me that was just crazy. You know, so yeah, I wouldn't even bother even listen to that man. You can't sit here and judge some men and call them the God gonna punish them, but they don't stay in those women life. No, they don't have to be in those women life to take care of their children. I don't know what he's smoking, but yeah, he didn't go on with that.
I think he probably had good intentions, but he just worded it wrong. I think he was.
Yeah, he sure did.
Like biblically, you know, stay married and, you know, they say don't divorce and take care of your family and kids and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's what he was wanting to say, but he just didn't say it like that.
It sounded like to me that he was trying to use that old scare tactic type of, trying to get at somebody, you know. That's what he came off on. We don't even need to talk about him no more. I don't want to talk about this. I want to talk about this video.
I said I don't even have an opinion on him no more.
Right. I'm looking at this, but this last video, and the man made some very valid points. And my whole thing is the bigger picture is all of this is by design, because, and y'all can call me a conspiracy theorist on this and everything, but they were trying to purposely deteriorate the power of the black family, the mother and the father being there.
Yeah.
And the way that they did it with money.
Yeah.
They use financial gain, because in order to be on any type of public assistance, and I went through this. I know I'm not saying something, as K. Marie said, talked in a discussion that we was having earlier. This ain't me search. This is research. This is life search.
Right.
When we got that apartment, the only way she could get that apartment was if there was not a father present. If there was no man present.
Yeah.
It's like
so I had to walk around on tiptoes. I couldn't do anything considered with the office because she would lose her Section 8.
Yeah.
She would lose that. And they did that on purpose, trying to give women more power. Not saying that y'all needed it, because even before, when we were having the whole home families, the mother and the father there, let's be honest, the women ran the house. The women ran the house.
Yes, they did. I agree, brother.
You know, right. So now that they put all of these systems into place to where the father can't be there, now we have to have these discussions about the absentee father, because of the simple fact the father can't be there, because if the father's there, well, the kids won't have no place to eat. The kids won't be able to get something, a place to lay their head. So sometimes it's not all just the man not wanting to be there, is that they can't, so that they can make sure that the child is provided for.
Yeah, and they started that like back in the 70s, the early 70s, the late 60s, 70s. They put that, and brother, that's like 100%. They did do that around us, I believe, around the early 70s or what have you, and they did not. That was a self. They wanted the men. They didn't want the men to be in the household. That's all it was, because they break up the family. And without that male presence being there, it can just go left. Mr. Britton, what did you have to say about that third video as well that Brother Dad just got to speaking about?
Oh shit! I think my man was on point.
Yeah.
And you know, he was on point. This thing here is not rocket science. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think that we allow stereotypes to kind of stray us away from the truth. But in every biblical book that's ever been written, whether you believe them or not, they're consistent. All of them talk about the orphan. They talk, and that means the children. They talk about, you know, the role that we have in the lives of our children. And everything that brother said was on point. God gave us the blueprint. He said he made a man distinct from the woman. You know what I'm saying? He said that, not me. You know what I'm saying? So, and understanding that, we know that there's certain things that a man is supposed to bring to a young man, and there's certain things that a woman brings to a young queen. But in all, the man has such a position in the family, and it's not that he's trying to be superior, but his position is one of a protector. You know what I'm saying? A provider. He guides. He gives guidance. Dude was absolutely on point. When it comes down to cuddling, that's let the woman do that. You know what I'm saying? But because I remember playing basketball and stuff like that. I fall down, I get hurt. Shoot, my mother used to be right there at courtside, and she'd be like, she couldn't say nothing because my coach would be like, he all right. You know, get up, get back in there. You know,
make your mama go back up, get back up in the stands. I got you. I got you.
Boy, my mama would go on there and rush the court like
and see, and that's the thing though too, Mr. B. I think that because I played sports coming up a lot. I played baseball, football, basketball. I played everything. But I always, that coach, as you say, that coach where my dad wasn't there, that coach was there.
Yeah.
And my daddy could play basketball like nobody knew. He had a tryout for the Lakers, but he didn't go because he had to stay home and take care of us. And one thing that my daddy always instilled in me is 100 moves. You got to have 50 with the left and 50 with the right.
Right.
And he would literally, even though we wasn't living in the same house, when I went over to his house, he put a basketball goal in the backyard. And he would, hey, come on out here, let's go shoot. He'd make me sit there and shoot free throws with both hands, left hand, right hand, make me do dribbling drills. And sometimes, but I can't say because he wasn't like literally living in the house that he was absent.
Yeah.
Because he was still active in my life.
Yeah, that part. Yeah. See, that's an important fact there.
Hey, Dwight, if I may, I gotta be so rude to say this at this point, but because I keep him on my mind, and that's King D. King D. The other day, man, I'm sitting there, I'm scrolling, and I see a TikTok video, right? And you know, brother, I believe that was your woman and your daughter, young daughter, and y'all was doing a finger like video. It was like you was Ike Turner or somebody. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but what I looked at, you know, in relation to what we're talking about, you know, the proof is in the pudding, man. You know what I'm saying? Real men do real things. You know what I'm saying? They allow themselves to be vulnerable in front of their women. That means their mothers, their daughters, their sisters, you know what I'm saying, their wife, you know what I'm saying, that the girl next door. You allow a certain vulnerability around them, and that shows your masculine, you know, side of you as well. Because you got to be a real man can only do that type of stuff. I did a thing with a wig on, you know, and my daughter's just cracked up. You know, and they know who their daddy is. So the importance of a man in the lives of our children, man, is so you can't even rate that. It's it's a divine order from God. What we talking about ain't nothing. God already said what it is.
Amen.
You ain't doing, you just ain't obeying.
That's right.
That's all.
And what you got to say about that video, King D?
The last one we just watched.
Yeah.
He was on point. Now I don't know what the other man was talking about, but he was actually on point. He was making some decent points.
King D, what was his video that he said that Mr. Britton saw you on TikTok? I want
me and the kids was playing around one day, a long time ago, like
yeah,
a couple years ago. Hold on.
Well, I just seen it the other day. I
No,
turned.
I had ended up resharing it.
Yeah.
On my
But see, it's little moments like that they'll remember for they gonna be at your funeral.
Oh, okay.
They gonna be at your funeral and they gonna be talking about it.
Hey, there you go. Don't he look like Ike Turner?
Ike Turner right there. No,
but he had another one where he wasn't intending to do a TikTok dance, but he was doing it with his daughter.
You can't see my kids.
A TikTok dance.
Yeah, he did TikTok dance with his twin.
Oh, you can't see my kids in the video, but they back there.
Yeah, I see them back there. Way y'all do like a dance, right?
Yeah. No, it was just a random video.
But you see, it's moments like that. I believe it. See, it's moments like that they are trying to take away from us, some of us as fathers. They don't want us to have those moments with our fathers. They don't want us to bond with our children like that, so that they can create that separation.
Yeah.
And that's why
you need to be understanding too the difference between providing and bonding.
Yeah, that part.
There is a difference.
They feel like, oh, they being the father because one, I pay child support. Two, I gave you money last week. No, that's not something they can actually cherish in bonding moments.
No, Spicy, not to cut you off. What's that basketball player name that played for Minnesota? They did something with him. If he had a baby with this woman, he said
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, he paid $1 million something up front and said, that's it. I don't want to see the child. Here's all that money. So in other words, he paid $1 million something to this woman, and he said he doesn't want nothing to do with the child.
See, I got to. She should have listened. Women, please start listening to these men when they say they do not want children. It's another girl, but they got a baby for him. Same situation happened. He said he didn't want kids. Wow. She messed around and got pregnant for him, and he paid her off. Like he do not want children. I mean, yes, it's it's his fault because he ain't strap it up or pull out or whatever.
Right.
He should have listened to him when he said, "Hey, I don't want kids," but you still went 9 months to carry this baby just to get $1 million.
And King D, you say he got another kid? How many kids this man got?
That's what they said on Facebook. I don't know
if he got a few kids, but this is just the case that got the most attention because of the simple fact that he told her up front that he did not want the baby. He would not have anything to do with the baby's life because he didn't want it. Because now this is my words, not his.
Right.
But analyzing the situation, she was fun at the time.
Now, Dave, didn't he say that he also King D, Mr. Britton, didn't he say he gave her money to go take care of that situation before the baby came here? Yeah. Like he wanted her to get rid of the baby, right?
He gave her $100,000 to get rid
of the baby?
Yeah,
to get rid of the
baby. And she chose not to. But if you think about it, she was looking at this this is just my personal opinion. Women, y'all can attack me, y'all want to. But she was looking at this as a business opportunity because she moved from Georgia to California to get a higher child support rate.
Yeah, that's what
and the judge in California said, nope, this is a Georgia problem. We going back to Georgia.
Yeah.
Yes, he should. See, that's crazy. And I'm not lazy, just like Brother Dave said, don't throw me on the bus. This the nonsense. Y'all shouldn't be playing these type of games because especially with these athletes. If a man tell you, and for these men that don't want to have babies, it's easy. Go to the doctor and get that sniff done. You got money, you can get that taken care of. You ain't got to worry about that situation no more. Go get that doctor to tie up your tools, and when you do what you do, you ain't got to worry about that lady getting pregnant. But that to me, that's just, I don't know. We just live in a crazy world today.
I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that. I'm gonna tell y'all, man. For me, I mean, I'm like, okay, I get the thing where you don't want to be responsible for the everyday, expectations of raising a child good. Okay, that ain't your thing. You're not good at that. But to deny, it's like he playing God, and I like that man. That's my man.
Right.
Just because he's playing real nasty, that don't mean that he right. You know,
Yeah.
here's
Right.
a guy that you know, he didn't go get the snip as somebody said. So
Yeah,
okay,
me.
you didn't go get snip, you
Yeah.
didn't go get fixed or whatever. So what you doing in essence is you playing God now, right? So you're gonna
Yeah.
create life and end life.
Wow.
You hear me? You know what I'm saying? So I got a real problem with some of the stuff that we do and in the
Yeah.
vein that we do it in, because we only go so far in our thought process. We don't even look at it for the next centimeter. You know, well,
Right.
what is this gonna do? How's it gonna impact? What am I actually saying? You know what I'm saying? What
Yeah.
am I actually saying to these kids that
Yeah.
come to my games and cheer me on? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? What are you saying? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? What are you teaching them? So to even have that in the media, he was wrong. Number
Yeah.
two, you know, he was wrong to put an expiration date on taking care of them kids, them yours. Them
Right.
yours, man. Take care of them
Yeah.
babies. Don't mistreat them. Okay, then give their mama some money and go ahead on. But you ain't got to publicize it. You ain't got to dog them. You ain't got to
Yeah.
make it seem like they was a dispersion on life. None of that. That's nasty.
But see,
I'm
I don't think
appalled.
that
Yeah.
I don't think that was him though. I think that was who he is
Right.
and what and the position that he quote unquote holds in society, because he's an athlete that
Yeah.
the media took that, because once it go into court, it's public record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody
Yeah.
can get it. I think
Yeah.
the media is doing more, because I haven't seen too many videos of him coming on and him talking about the situation. I'm hearing more
Yeah.
and seeing more videos from media. Like,
Right. I
this
hope
is
you're
the
right,
story
Brother
now.
Dave,
This is the hot topic.
Well,
because
my
that
mama
girl,
would have been like,
that
boy, you better
child
bring.
gonna, yeah,
Yeah.
that child gonna say my daddy. But see, this is what gets me. If I wasn't there, but if he did say that, can you imagine that little girl when she grew up and see this tape of her father saying that he don't want nothing to do with
Want
her?
her. He didn't want her. Now think how traumatized she gonna be growing up.
Exactly.
That's her first encounter with rejection,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
belittling her, then
Yeah.
psychologically telling her she less than from birth.
Right.
I wasn't even here, man, and you put me in a less
Wow.
than category.
Okay,
Come
but at the
on, man.
same
You got to
time, don't you think, well, in this situation, can't the mother control that narrative?
Yeah, they both got a part to play in it. If he said, and I agree, if he said, look, I don't want no kids, you know what I'm saying? And she said, okay. So the next question is, you know what I'm saying, do I get some yum yum or do I go get me something, a hat to put on this thing first? What I got to do? You know what I'm
Get that
saying?
snip, snip. Get a
You
snip.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
either
See,
that or I
I'm
don't
just
want to get snipped. Say I just ain't ready to have kids at this moment in my life. I may
right.
want them later. So if that's the case, man, go get you some condoms. You know what I'm saying? Catch that action. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Ask, you know, get her to take her birth control. You know, and if she don't, then you got to go on. Now that's when you leave her alone, and you go on and you find you one that's gonna be down with your program. There's plenty of
Yeah.
young black couples. I see them all the time that agree, that come to the table and say, look, you know, we trying to get our careers in order. You know what I'm saying? Let's work on our careers. Then we can drop later on the family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's organized, that's thoughtful, that's you thinking for yourself and the unborn child or the child that you want to have later. You know what I'm
Ain't this
saying? You know,
woman in her 40s? Ain't she in her 40s, 41?
she 38.
38.
She's 38. So,
Mhm.
but see, I'm feeling like this. Ladies, don't get mad at me. I ain't saying no, but I believe this woman was just in it for the money.
Of course, she's
This-
secure. She's secure. She's 38. It's not, the time is almost up, so she's trying to hurry up and get it while she can before
Yeah.
everything goes dropping. But $1 million, $1 million. That
No, technically, they say that over a span of 18 years, that it's going to take about $1 million in order
Right.
to raise
he paid
the
it all at
child.
once. He paid it all at once. He cut a check.
Yeah.
Cover the
She
whole
did cut the
18
check
years.
for the whole-
So now
Yeah.
with that situation, is she going to handle those finances properly to make sure that
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 part,
child is
yeah.
taken care of? Because
no,
she gonna go and spend it and splurge it on
She gonna
her?
spend this.
She definitely
She
gonna
gonna
spend on her living the lifestyle she lives.
yeah.
Because I saw a picture of
He
she
cut
like
the
she
check.
lived one
He
of those
cut the
high
check and he signed
lifestyles.
his rights over. He's technically not the father. Well, he's his biological father, but he signed
Yeah.
all his rights over.
Yeah, he sure
Well,
did.
one thing for sure, you know, I may not be here to see it and say there it is, but I guarantee you that's a book.
Yeah,
Little sister
yeah.
gonna get some more money because she could write the book. How
Oh,
my
yeah.
daddy, an NBA legend.
I'm sure he got her under a non-disclosure agreement. I'm more than sure.
Probably so.
That
Not
and then
no,
it's some type
no,
of
they
trust
don't
fund
because
being
we
set
know
up and
about
all
it.
that. It's a
How
trust.
they got non-disclosure and we know about it? And
Right.
That's just crazy.
if we know about it and we talking about it now,
Yeah.
shit,
No,
That's crazy.
I said I'm sure that he has her on the NDA.
Right.
Big mama. Because if
Yeah, that
Yeah,
just blew me
because
away, not all that. So that's just crazy. I mean, wow.
I see. I see what you're saying because we hearing about it through the media, but I don't. Has anybody heard anything from the mother?
That's what I'm saying. She got to be on the NDA.
Well, she made a video, didn't she? I think I seen a video about today talking about and the way she was. And look, and the way y'all might can find on TikTok that video. I'm not gonna lie, that one. Most of the people that was in the comments saying something. She was just doing it for the money. She saw her meal ticket. She wanted to have the baby. And like Dad said, they both agreed, and she didn't follow through it. I know he gave her $100,000, but she was supposed to go get it done. And in her head, she said, "Why I'm selling for $100,000 and I can get $1 million or two." As Brother King D said, she flew over there thinking she was gonna get more money.
That was him who said that, but yeah, she did.
Yeah, no, that was me.
But
that's what she did. She left. She literally moved from Georgia to California.
To get more money.
Right when she
get more
turned
money. That's what, to me, it's all about the money. The poor child's the innocent one in the middle, as he don't want to be a father, and the mama looking at it, well, I'm going to get a bag. And who going to suffer as they get older is going to be the child, the daughter.
The child.
Yeah, that's the part right there.
She really fumbled herself, though. The mother really did. You could have been in a way better situation than what you're in now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I would have took care of my daughter. I mean, I just couldn't see myself just not want to be in my child's life. If I have a baby with somebody, say, "Hey, you know, I don't want to be with that woman." Yeah, he ain't got to be with the woman. He knew what it was. Isn't she a model or something like that? One of these models, women that always showing they. Because I heard that the woman got another baby by another athlete. So what did that saying? She got a baby with him and then some other dude. So it's like she's out here getting these high value men spitting out babies so she can get money. It's just crazy to me, y'all. This is what I'm talking. It's just crazy. I mean,
that comment? You see that comment by the caller, Sean?
What did she say?
Read her comment. Sean Sims.
There's a film I'm in coming soon. He named him Adam. They just went.
Yeah.
He named him Adam.
Hey, that part. But it's just crazy. And, you know, and like I said, the kids are the one. This is why we got a lot of young women and men out here today confused because of what the behavior that the mom and the dad do. You know, and like I said, everybody got to live their life. They got to answer to God. When they meet God, they got to answer for all day, but that just crazy. It kind of hurt my heart. This young man said he didn't have nothing to do with this innocent child and just pay her off. I mean, that's the part that got me. I mean, you don't want nothing to do with this baby, this beautiful baby that you have with this woman, and you just pay the mama off and you don't want to have nothing else to do with her. It's just crazy to me, man. It's just crazy. I mean, that's just, I don't know. You know, I don't know if I was more mad at him or her, but like I said, it's an innocent baby. It's an innocent child that's stuck in the middle. And that child may not even send the money because this woman might be out here just spending it up. And by the time she gets to the age, she won't have nothing because her mama spend all the money up. I'm not saying that you don't do that, but who's to say?
I'm more than sure, though, that I'm sure he probably put it in there where she got to have a trust fund. Some of that money probably going to have.
I hope, you know what, King did? I hope so.
I'm sure he ain't that crazy.
That included that million. It was 1,080,000, so 1.8 million. That 1.8 million included child support, medical care, daycare, as well as a portion of it was to be set up for a trust fund for her to be able to attend college.
Okay,
yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, I feel better about that. At least this child, when she grows
up, at least he
paid
for her to go to college. I mean, he knew what he was
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
that's no. He put some stipulations in there to where she can't just go willy nilly with the money.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm glad he did this because you know how that goes. They're making it rain in there.
That's
I'm
what
glad he did
she thought she caught a stray. That's what she thought.
because that's just, oh man, that's just crazy, man. That just, I don't know. I mean, if she was good at the late when they had the baby with. Now, if she was crazy and you knew she was crazy, you knew what you was getting into. I just don't get it. If you go deep, if you're sticking your stick in someplace and you ain't got a protection, it can happen. One night stands, you can have a baby. So I don't know. This
That's
young
right.
man is better than that. You just can't be sticking your stick in everything and thinking, oh, I just pray she don't get pregnant. Come on now, you taking a chance.
Look, that hey, like Country Wayne said, you know, hey, my pullout game weak.
But what exactly is the stick?
Oh my God.
You know,
Hey, at least Country Wayne look, I can give Country Wayne this. He take care of his kids though, and the mamas. I give him that. He take care of everybody. He like, I'm gonna take care of them until I ain't got nothing. I give him much respect because he does take care of all his kids, and he even take care of the mamas. I think he bought all of them a house or something. I don't know what he's trying to do. I guess
yeah,
he's trying to
I seen one video where he bought them matching some type of Mercedes truck or something like that.
Yeah, he handled his business. I give it to him.
But he told him, he
take care
said,
of
but but you got to pay your own insurance. I ain't paying insurance. You got insurance for 1 month. After that, it's on you.
that part.
I'm down here in Georgia with them. Y'all realize scripted stuff, right? Some of that
It's all
stuff.
scripted.
Yeah.
But how many kids he actually had?
I mean, the scenario is, you know, it's a scenario, but it might be a little embellished. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But for the most part, he does overall take care of everything that's his and the people around him.
Right.
I can say that's a good brother.
Yeah, he is. He definitely is a good brother.
He paid one of his writers close to $1 million a year.
Yep, that brother Mike, and then he pay his actors $20,000 a month.
That's a good. Hey, he's Wayne is doing all right. He making money. He taking care of everybody.
So, I got one of my actresses is on his team now.
Oh
and,
wow.
She doing her thing with him. So, although I haven't seen nothing in it, you know, I hear about it, but
right.
Yeah, but he takes care of folks.
That's what's up. I like that. Taking care of his people. That's what's up. I like hearing about stuff like that, helping his people. Now, I'm gonna let everybody say what they want to say about this topic we had, because it definitely has been a great show. And like I said, you know, fathers are needed. You know, we need to stay in the kid's life as much as possible, regardless if you can't stand the mama. You just you know, forget that. You know, y'all don't get along. At least get along enough so y'all can raise the kids together, because the kids are the important thing. You know, no matter how much y'all can't stand each other, it's all about the children. That's what's matter. So I'm gonna start with Brother Dez, and you know, give a little advice on the situation, then we'll move our way on up.
Well, as far as, you know, the importance of the effects of the absentee father, I do believe that in some ways, like women, like Mr. B said, women can only teach us so much. Women can only teach us so much, but our fathers can teach us so much more. And by our fathers not being there in the household or being in our lives, it will force us, like the guy in the third video said, to become that man of the house without having any instructions. And that can sometimes lead us down destructive paths. But if you're in that situation, if you one of the kids that was maybe did not have their father in their life, I will say this. I don't know whatever your personal situation may be, but think about it like this. Think about it as in, what was my daddy going through? Because sometimes like everybody's saying, you never know what was going on in that man's life to where he could not be there, whether it was just him just not caring, not giving a what, or maybe it could have even been incarceration. So, you know, don't hold that against him until you have hardcore facts of why he chose to do what he did and made the decisions that he made. Because sometimes your mama just may not be telling you the whole story.
That part. That's right.
And then on top of that, you got your family members coming in and they adding their little 2 cents to it. But like K. Marie said, it's not about me search, it's about research. Find out as much as you can. If no matter what you have to do, even if it's something that's really hard for you, find out, talk to that man, ask him why. Now, if it was some situations where you know why he was there because some foul things took place, and that's all I'm gonna say on that, get it. But don't hold it against somebody without actually talking to them, because of the simple fact that once you talk to that person, you maybe have a deeper understanding of why they did what they did. And now also you will see how that affects you and why you're making some of the decisions that you're making. Because my son even changed his name.
Oh, wow.
Because of the negative connotations that came along with this name.
Wow.
Because of my father.
Right.
So sit down, talk, conversation rules a nation and leads to a higher destination. That's all I can say.
I agree with you. And Mr. Britton, what you have to say about what you have? You have any final words you want to say about the show tonight?
Yeah. First of all, we got to realize, man, that this thing here is a responsibility, not just well. Actually, let me stop and address this because I'm kind of troubled. Sean, you just dropped something over here in the group where you were saying men thinking with the wrong head. First of all, we got to stop that. We got to stop that. We got to stop trying to, that's the Willie Lynch syndrome. So first of all, I'm gonna throw a negative connotation on a man. You know what I'm saying? And what's that saying to my son is that we don't do nothing but think about sex. Look, I done had women as hot as men and vice versa. You get hungry, your hunger ain't no different than mine. You know what I'm saying? So, we need to stop that. You know what I'm saying? Because we all eating, right? So anyway, back to
All I'm gonna say is, oh, cuz gonna come for you.
Oh, snap.
I mean, for real though, for real. We we can't just keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? For real. We can't. But young men, okay, so young men, you know what I'm saying? All men, we got to realize that we got to step up to the plate. We can't keep allowing our sons and our daughters, but primarily our sons, because we got to start making kings. You know what I'm saying? Too often, I work in the store where they bringing their sons in there to get them dressed for prom, and there's no men around, and it's women bringing them in, and they don't know how to tie ties, they don't know nothing about a suit, and one of the things I do is I ask them, I say, can I be his uncle for a few minutes? And they say, go ahead. And I step up to the plate and I tell them the difference in their suits. I start giving them life lessons. I tell them, don't come in the store with your mama and you don't know your sizes. You know what I'm saying? You don't even want to carry the bags. See, they don't have a man giving them instruction, the blueprint. It's like they're trying to take books from us, y'all. If they're taking books out of school, how else is a man gonna know how to be a man unless he get it from the example? Quit playing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I get fried.
You all right?
You know what I'm saying? I ain't playing with him, man. It ain't no mystery why little Day out there with his drawers down on his knees. It ain't no mystery.
He ain't got no guidance.
And that's why Sean says, she says, you're right, but at the end of the day, if you lay, you pay.
Yeah, we agree on that. You gotta take care of your responsibility. Shoot, everybody do. The woman and the man.
I told you, Mr. B.
Yeah, boy. What about you, Steve? What you got to say on that?
I'm just sitting there listening. I'm just sitting here listening.
You just sitting back soaking up the game, huh?
I don't know, Mr. B. Yeah, Mr. B. I feel some type of way. I don't know how to tie no tie. I don't know my sister.
Well, come and see me, son. Come see me, son. All you got to do is look.
I ain't never had to wear a suit. I ain't never had to wear no suit.
Okay, well, you need to get in one, and I want you to get in one. See, that's what I'm talking about.
I told my kids, I was like, don't bury me in no damn suit. Don't put me in no damn suit and no casket. I want to be dressed like I was dressed. I ain't never wore no suit. And I told my kids' mom, I said, look, if we ever get married, I ain't wearing no damn suit. I'll wear a t-shirt and some slacks or something, but I ain't gonna wear no suit.
Don't feel bad, King D. If it wasn't for ROTC, I wouldn't know how to tie a tie either.
I ain't never had to tie no tie. I ain't never had to tie one. When I was little, they had that little with the church. I can do that. I can do that for real.
I had to learn. My brother was he was something about them ties, man.
Yeah.
I remember when he laughed at my shoes, right? I had some Beetle boots, and I must have been about 8, 9 years old. And my mama took me and got me a pair of Beetle boots. You know what I'm saying?
Boot? What's the kind of boot? I ain't never heard of Beetle boots before.
They was real pointy. Look, go look at a picture of the Beatles. You were seeing they was real pointy. 3/4. Now they fashionable now. People wear them now, but they don't realize back then. So I went and got me a pair of them. And when I came in the house, he was like, and he talked softer than me. So this is how he sounded. He said, "Hey man, fuck you got on your feet?" He said, "Them Beatles." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh man, you don't waste your mama's money like that. Hey, take him back."
So basically, in modern day terms, he hit you with the "What are those?"
Yeah, what are those?
Oh my God! Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But now I know how to dress. Yeah, he taught me how to dress though, so now I'm on point.
Yeah.
When I come down there, we're gonna try on my first suit. And
hey, dig this, man. You know, and I got a bone to pick with y'all. Y'all keep on talking about when you come down here, talk about the script. I don't know if y'all got it or not, but I sent out a script, right, for the whole cast.
I ain't got no script.
I didn't get it.
I ain't got no script. We'll fight like family off camera.
I sent it. And I wanted to shoot this shot with all of y'all on there and me shooting it like I'm watching TV. You know, I had lines for y'all and everything.
Who was that woman you was shooting? Who was that woman you was shooting with? I saw you on Facebook. You and this woman.
That's all I got.
Yeah, who was that woman? Who was that woman you was standing there with? Y'all about to do something. It was like a scene.
Oh, that's a Southern Soul. And as a matter of fact, Spicy, I was gonna pitch something to you. You know, I got a lot of Southern Soul singers and artists, and you know, and the women. All of them, and I don't think I'm saying anything wrong, but all of them have ran into abusive situations. You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting it first. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to do a story on Southern Soul because, you know, I hear so many stories like the abuse, the stuff that we talking about now, how the men wasn't in their life.
Wow.
All of that. And these women can flat out go. They can, like Maserati Red, I didn't see her, but she was up for an award a few weeks ago in Atlanta.
Yeah, she cutting up.
And I was there and I heard her name. Yeah. And I heard her name. I didn't see her. But my point being is that, you know, boy, they something else. And they have stories related to every subject we talk about, particularly the men in their life.
Wow.
You know, one of them just Mika, she just lost her father a few months ago, her biological. Now she just lost her bonus daddy. Wow. And she's toe up, she crushed. That's my baby. She crushed. You know what I'm saying? And they be out there and they still go out and perform behind all of that. You know what I'm saying? So
as an entertainer, you know, you have to be willing to do those things because there's been times where we've been literally right about to go on stage. Literally about to go on stage and got bad news. Wow. Still had to go out there and do that.
Yeah, you have to put on a different face.
Yeah,
yeah.
So
that's
the part right there. You got to just the show got to go on. So yeah. Wow.
The
That's
show
something else.
must go on.
Yeah, it
But
must
yeah,
go.
that's Yasmin though. But that's Yasmin Mack. That's my wife.
Yeah, I saw that. I said, oh, what
Yeah,
Mr.
that's
Britt
my
about
wife
to
in
say?
there. Wait till y'all see her smack me.
Well, yeah,
Y'all
I
be
need to see that. I want to see that, Mr. Britt.
What?
Yeah, I
Oh
want to
man,
see.
I get
Take
smacked
the
about
what
4 or
and
5
lead a
times.
what?
Yeah.
Look, I get
Yeah.
everybody smacking on me, man. I got
Everybody
everybody
smacking.
smacking.
Yeah. I said, what they about to do here? They about to let they gonna jump the broom? What they doing on here? So I was peeping that out, Mr. Britton.
So the official trailer Jump Off Sunday. It's a countdown to it. And
Right.
yeah, so it's gonna be a countdown to it. I'm gonna be in Cincinnati for a premiere.
Right.
And another movie I was in, but we also gonna launch the official trailer to Fatal Betrayal that same day there as well. So
Okay.
it's jumping off. Like I say, I'm getting ready to close this baby up. It's been a while making. And if you want in, I keep saying you better get in because I got another month and it's over. I'll be I have it ready to go, edited, everything. So Tommy boy, I got room for you. Tommy boy.
Man, I've been look.
All right, y'all.
You supposed to be sending me that script a while back, and you ain't sent it yet.
I'm not sending you that script until I know you committed.
You ready?
I told you I was gonna do it.
Guess who coming down here? Honey on her way down.
Okay, see that? King D be on his
All
way.
right.
The last time you talked, you said, come down here with Honey. Honey ain't called me and told me to meet me at the airport.
Right. King D said, hey, they better take that flight. They ready to go.
Well, we're gonna hook it up then because she on her way down. She just called me the other day. She got to come and do some more parts. She did one part, but she got another one. You can jump in the car, come with her. Y'all can crash at my pad. I don't care. And we go make a movie.
Okay.
King D, you ready to go?
You just told me Thursday. You said I'm gonna send you the script Thursday. All right, bet. I waited.
We all heard it now. He said Thursday. We all heard it.
Never got it.
I typed in that, told him, but I didn't because I'm down here. That's my fault. I ain't no excuse. Negligence.
Okay.
But I'm gonna get you.
All right. King D, he said he got you. He got you, bro. He said he got you.
Dad said he ready to
Spicy, I'm gonna send a script to you, Spicy, for the whole cast, and you disseminate that.
Spicy, you heard that? You hear it?
That's what I do. We'll talk about this backstage.
All right, y'all. all right. Facebook, Twitter, all y'all.
All right. Y'all heard it. Well, look, I just want to say this has been, this has been a great show. I love having shows like this because all the men, they bring it. You know, it's real men talking. This is what we do. And I just want to thank all the people that tune in to watch us and give their opinion. I want to thank all the callers that be calling. This is what we do. We enjoy doing this. We get together and we talk about life. We talk about things that goes around in our life and outside, out of the bubbles. This is what we do. We enjoy it. And we hope y'all join us tomorrow. We have this show coming up. We're going to talk about the placement of a baby mom. This is going to be, this is going to be fun to talk about. So y'all be sure to join us tomorrow at the same time because we're going to talk about that. So until then, y'all just stay safe out there. Y'all have a beautiful weekend. We love you. And until tomorrow, we'll see you. Nothing but love. See you soon.